Okay. That is okay. That looks good. Let's save that. Let's do it. All right. Should be live now. Let's see if we can get it pulled up here. We'll tell her phone. Hey. Good deal. That is awesome. Oh, all right. Well, the stars aligned, and Courtney, the steak cook, was able to come on home, and the girls are in the bed, and we got to go live, brother. That is awesome. So, checking out the new lights there. Got the orange on that side, and hopefully that's purple right there. Not 100% sure if it is purple or not, but got new lights and got a new setup here on the Streamlabs so that we can see what's going on there. Don't like that. Let's put this up here for when the questions come, we can Google some answers and whatnot. The old Google. I like the old Google. She works pretty good. I just want the Google page. That's all I want. That's all I need is the old Google page. Let's see, does it do the fancy what you call it? Yeah, it sure does. That's what I'm talking about. Got the live stream going. Looking pretty good. Drink out of my marinara sauce cup, because that is what is up. Ooh, me. Wish I had the music. I should have done the Streamlabs thing, the Stream Beats thing, so I could put a little bit of music behind it. Something like that. That would have been pretty cool. But I don't think that I figured that out, and I don't want to try it now while I'm in the live stream, because I don't think that would do very good. I wonder if I can make my chair. Nope. Rock back and forth. Nope. I cannot be adjusted. No good. It will be okay. Maybe I should stay like that so I can cover the blue up. Don't know. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. It'll be alright. I'll get my drink on through my marinara sauce cup. Because the Appalachian Americans, we do some recycling of some stuff. I want to fix that, but I don't want to touch the screen there. There we go. That says 0, that says 1. I don't know. Hey, what's up? Everything going good on you? I sure do hope so. The old oracles. Wasn't the oracles the people that like breathed in the fumes from the volcanoes and stuff and predicted the future? Maybe I'm wrong on that. I feel like they were oracles. Well, that did that, but I could be wrong. I think so. Boring night in Mississippi. It's a boring night in North Carolina as well. I guess it don't matter what state you're in. It could be a boring night anywhere. We were in Atlanta one time, and it was like 8 o'clock in the evening, and this guy was like, "You're just in Atlanta, man. There's nothing going on." I was like, "Are you serious? We're in Atlanta. This is the biggest city I've ever been in." He's like, "Nothing really happens in Atlanta." Well, are you serious, man? It's Atlanta. But depends on where you're at. Ooh, Mississippi. Never been down there. I'm sure there's a lot of like good like Cajun restaurants down in Mississippi. I know it's more like a Louisiana thing, but I bet Mississippi got some good food too. I can just imagine so. Some old deep south food. That'd be alright. Of course, down in Mississippi, I think y'all are on Central Time, so it's it is the most southern state. But you're on Central Time, so you're looking at this what 10 till 9 down there. So it's not too bad. Yeah, old Mississippi, to be sure. I've been to Alabama, and of course we were in like northeastern side of Alabama, and their food wasn't no different than our food here in North Carolina. But I can imagine Mississippi pretty good. Mississippi gets like a bad rap, like on a lot of things, like education and pay rate and stuff like that. I don't know why Mississippi does like that, but they do. Somebody told me that Arkansas's like unofficial theme was "Thank God for Mississippi," so that they're not like in last place. I don't know why Mississippi is so far down on so many things. The short, the shorts, yes, yes, yeah. Shorts are the ones I just started doing just a little bit ago. Um, I don't know. I just it's, like when things happen at work is typically when I do the shorts. Um, like when it's Christmas Day or whatever. And I'm tired. And I don't want to be there on Christmas Day. Those are typically when I do the shorts. Those are just events that happen at work typically. Um, nothing real special about those. I just now figured out, like with the newest one, I just now figured out how to do the green screen, and the green screen was like I don't know. I think it's gonna be a lot more fun with the green screens, doing the shorts and the green screens, because I can have like a nursing station behind me, and then also, you know, chit chat it up without worrying about HIPAA and whatnot. Because if I was to do some of that stuff at work, like the only one I did at work was the walking into the med room that was our actual bedroom. But it's far enough away from patients where I wasn't worried about it. But like I'm too scared to do some of that mess at work because there was a girl who did that mess at work and got in like some serious trouble, and so I'm too scared to do that mess at work. So I like the green screen. I'm glad that I discovered how to do the green screen. So I should be able to bring some more shorts um, to the channel because I like them. Yeah, yeah. Believe it or not, I've done a few open mic nights when I was younger. I was a little bit more. I didn't have kids, so I could say more things, and didn't really care about what was said. For the entertaining part aspect, I won a womanless beauty pageant one time when I was really broke in 2008, um, dressing up in a prom dress and telling some jokes. So, like the informative part, I don't know how informative I am. I am not a teacher. I can show you, but I can't really teach people. But yeah, I won $100. I won $100 when I won that woman's beauty pageant. Um, Back in '08 when the economy was tanking, and they were having like there was this local place that was doing like Guitar Hero contest and womanless beauty pageants and open mic nights and stuff like that. And I did the womanless beauty pageant. I won $100 for it. Yeah, sure did. It was a fun time. Won $100 and they sent the check to my mama's house. And on the check it said what I won the $100 for. And my mom was like, "What is this? You won $100?" I was like, "Yeah, sure did." She was, I guess she was proud of her son that day. I don't know. I don't know. Needed the money. I really needed the money. It was a good time. All the world is a stage. Yes, all the world is a stage. Yeah, parts of that stage I don't wanna get onto, but yes, all the world is a stage, and I think that's changed a lot since I've had kids too. I don't really want to get involved in too much more, since with my kids and everything now, it's a lot different than it was when I was 21, 22, 23. From Shakespeare, I did a few plays actually. I've never done a Shakespeare play, but I can't quote Shakespeare. I don't know Shakespeare. He was His vocabulary was just too far from me. I was not could not keep up with his vocabulary. Macbeth, that was not Macbeth. The Canterbury Tales, that was Chaucer. I could do Chaucer. I like Chaucer. He was pretty good. I wrote a play for Chaucer as a senior project in high school, and then we did the play. So after that, I really liked watching or reading Chaucer, and all his Canterbury Tales. They were pretty good back in the day. I'm about to drink all my tea. I brought a whole mess load of it. I'm getting older too, so I don't want to have to like pee a bunch. So I'm gonna have to hold off on it. What do you think about the lighting setup? This is something I tried out. I stole these lamps from work. I literally like took them from work. The light bulbs I didn't, but I stole the lamps themselves from work. So what do you think about that? I think it's pretty cool. I like the purple and the orange. At least I hope that's purple and orange. That's showing up back there. Pretty cool, I think. I really like it myself. It's maybe it'll be darker in the house so the kids don't wake up. Of course, they may hear me chit chatting it up. I don't know. We'll see. And the constant buzz of the computer, the fans and whatnot. Mm. But It is what it is. Yeah, lighting. Yeah, yeah. I can make them change colors, but I don't. I like stationary. I like the stationary colors myself. So Mississippi is a LPN state. So are you going for your LPN? You going for your RN, ADN, Farm Tech, phlebotomy? Anything nursing related? Yeah, I think Mississippi's LPN, yeah. Dang. I'm gonna drink all my drink. Can't handle all that. Real estate. Okay. So, with you being in real estate, is the here locally they're putting up housing developments just like crazy. So is that the same way in Mississippi? Or are they just putting up like these cookie cutter houses? Everywhere you look, like they just built like 200 houses a couple miles up the road from us. Rented 2 houses. Okay. I think when you rent the houses though, you gotta like I don't know. I mean, I don't know how like landlording works, but I think you have to fix everything that gets broken, right? Like you can't make people like if they pull that light switch, like if they were to pull that light switch out of the wall right now, and I was renting this house, my landlord would have to pay for that, right? I think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I don't know if I could do that with with how people can be on stuff they don't own. I don't know. Could be wrong. I don't know how landlording works. I think you have to give them like a month uh, notice that you're like kicking them out, evicting them, something like that. And so they could not pay you for like an entire month and then trash the house, and then you have to pay for it. Whew. I don't know if I could do all that. A service company, okay, so like a maintenance crew. Yeah, that would work. Yeah. Yeah. A service crew. But you still have to like fix everything, or have to have everything fixed, though, right? Like you can't. Uh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can't. Like leave that light switch broken that someone else pulled out of the wall, what they did. I'm waiting on what's after the but. Dot dot dot. I'm on pins and needles. That was Guru from Despicable Me. Mm. Yeah, yeah, taxes and repair stuff. Yeah, our taxes are going. I think everybody's taxes are going up. Our taxes are going up, and I know it's definitely hurt a lot of people. If taxes went up in the last like 2 years or something. It's like the cost of living keeps getting more and more, but people aren't getting paid any more than what they were. Or if they are getting paid, it's like they're getting paid, just a little bit higher than what they were, not enough to keep up with the cost of living. So it's, getting bad out there right now with the taxes. I don't know if insurance is going up. I feel like insurance has stayed the same, at least here locally for us. But taxes keep climbing and climbing and climbing. That's no fun for anybody. And then they keep on taking out like more taxes out of your check. every week or bi-weekly, whatever it is you get paid, it seems like they're taking out more in taxes than they used to, which I think of course, every time an administration changes, that changes a little bit. But I feel like this time taxes hit like real hard. But I could be wrong. It's hard to judge because I don't remember exactly every dollar I paid in taxes for each administration. Um, every time, but I just feel like this time it was a lot more. Of course, with the supply shortage, everything else is going up. Lumber and fuel and everything else, and that's costing more. So the cost of living goes higher, and then we get paid the same, which doesn't help anymore. So it's a vicious cycle to keep the poor poor, I guess, which is no fun. Oh, and if you got uh that parent payment thing for like your taxes or whatever, they got that mess back. Like they took that back out of our taxes. They were like, "Oh, you got paid for having kids last year? Guess what? We're claiming it back." And so they took all that money back. Like I would have rather just had it in my refund this year rather than just the government taking that money back. Of course, I knew it wasn't gonna be free, but I should have known it was all going away anyways as soon as they give it to us. Oh, dang, I can't remember the name of that plan either. That parental tax rebate, whatever it was, you got paid like I don't even remember what you got paid, like $100 per child, $160 per child, something like that. Yeah, they took that mess right back. That parental stimulus, and then charges more in taxes. Thanks, guys. Took all their money back. And then yet at the same time, the richest are getting richer. Like what's her name? Jeff's ex-wife, Mackenzie Bezos, just donated like hundreds of millions of dollars to Alabama, a university in Alabama, I believe. I mean, I will never ever see a quarter of that money in my entire life, but she just gave it away to a university in Alabama. Ridiculous. Yeah, yeah, this administration's definitely gone. It's it is different, yes, with this administration. I would like to see. I don't want to get like too political on this live stream, but I would like to see entire administrations leave like entire term limits. There was I think he was a senator from South Carolina named Strom Thurmond, and he was in office for like 80 years or something like that. Let me look him up. Um, but he was in office for so long. Um, it was ridiculous the fact that he was able to do it. Um, let's see. In office from, hold on, 81. How long? Well, he was in office the longest out of anybody in history. I know that much. But from South Carolina, from what year was he born? He died in '03. He was born in 92, or excuse me, 1902, and he was in office until 2001. He started in office in the 1930s. Like that is entirely too long for an individual to be making decisions like that. You go from the 1930s to 2001. Yeah, Strom Thurmond, yeah. And I mean the fact that he went through like what 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s to '01, he was inside of 8 decades in office. Like we need like 8 years. We don't need 8 decades. Of course, if anybody's going to elect you, you're going to keep on getting in there. But at the same time, 80 years in all, or 8 decades, you know, not necessarily 80 years, but that is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous long time. We definitely need term limits on these things. This, whew. That way we can. I mean, of course, we continuously have change though. Um, but you know, I would be for term limits. But like I said, I don't want to get like too political. But what's that one justice got? He died in Texas, but I think he was actually from New Jersey. Oh, Anthony Scalia. There we go. Antin Scalia. I'm sorry. Oh, he was only in office from 86 to 16. Oh, wait, hold on. No, he wasn't. The 1970s to 2016. So he was in office for a long time as well. Of course, he wasn't on the Supreme Court, but for 86 to 16 is 30 years. So, you know, he was in office for 30 years. Again, need term limits on those guys as well. Of course, like I said, things are going to change if you do term limits, but we won't have career politicians. And maybe they'll try hard, you know, if they have term limits. Maybe they'll try harder to set their name. Yeah, it was a mysterious day. He died in Texas, but I think he was from Jersey, but I think he died in Texas. Let me see. Yeah, born in Trenton, Jersey, died in Schaefer, Texas. Yeah. Yeah, so mysterious death. Of course, he was 80, so mysterious could be not natural causes, you know, which would have been a terrible day. Antonin Scalia. Pronounced it wrong, incorrectly, whenever I said it the first time. Antonin Scalia. And then RBG, she was in there for a good bit too. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she died in office. Of course, she had like 2 or 3 rounds of lung cancer or something. She was on up there. I remember watching one of the late night guys. What's his name? Stephen Colbert do the workout with her. She was working him under the bus. I think he was, you know, 45. She was 85. Just working him under the bus, doing them lifting weights and whatnot. I don't know if I'd air that on the air or not. Some woman is double my age lifting more than I can, lifting twice as many times as I can. Or, you know, not necessarily because, you know, she's a woman, but just the fact that she was double his age. But I don't know. I guess that was comedy was the whole thing of his. Yeah, because he was on Daily Show. Yes. Old RBG. Not saying I was a fan, but you know, just saying she was there for a while. She fell asleep in somebody's inauguration. I think it was Bush Jr. She fell asleep in his inauguration. Might have been Obama. I don't know. Was it Obama or was it Bush? I don't remember, but yeah, she fell asleep in one of them. I remember they like zoomed in on her. Like, oh, they got her. There she is nodding out, sleeping and whatnot. Oh, but you know, it is what it is. Hold on, I gotta show it. Hold on. They're gonna told me one of them was. There it goes. Okay, yeah. Feminist followers. Yeah, she definitely had that going on. Yeah, I feel like they had a name, but I can't remember it. Of course, really, any of those people, even if they're like as middle of the road as possible, they're gonna have their super loyal followers who are, those are the only people who are right. But yeah, she definitely had a bunch of them. Yeah, they made a play about her and everything. It was a cult. I don't, it was a cult. They drank a bunch of Kool-Aid, as cults often do. I don't know that they drank a bunch of Kool-Aid, but yes, it was. Yeah, it was. They like wrote books and all kinds of stuff like that. Such good times were had by them. Such good times. So in Mississippi, now that my mind's turning, do y'all have the I don't know the name of it, but it's like where you can't kick out your tenants for not paying rent. It was a federal thing. It was like a housing mandate or something like that. Yes. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. Yes, they sure were. Um, they were super obsessed. I bet they were like super fans. Like when Michael Jackson would walk around, people would, faint. I wonder if that would happen when she walked around. I don't know, but it'd be that would be too weird for me. Thankfully, you didn't have to do that. Well, that's good because I know like I don't even really think here locally that it really applied to a lot of people. But I just remember hearing about it on like the news, people that owned a lot of rental properties and stuff that their tenants were really taking advantage of that federal mandate and just like not paying, and the poor landlords like could not get the people out, and then again still had to fix everything, which was which would be miserable to have to fix everything and you're still not getting any um never evicted. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad you've never evicted anybody, but it'd be miserable to because I would assume you would still have to fix everything, and then you know couldn't evict people like I said, pulling out the light switch, just pulling it out, and then you have to fix it, but they're not going to pay you at all for it. That would be miserable because could not even imagine how much money those people were losing. Those big time um, real estate landlord people. I can't even imagine how much they were losing in that. Because you figure, what 5, 6 houses, even at like $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month, and no one's paying, but yet you got to replace like one single HVAC. The whole unit. That's $5,000 right there. So that's a whole month, and you're not getting paid for that month. Um, that's good. Yeah, no one ever lost their job during the virus apocalypse. But you're getting paid $5, 6 thousand a month. Then you got to replace the whole HVAC. That's $5,000, and you're not getting paid for the months either. So I don't know that there was any stimulus for landlords. There might have been that I don't know about, but I don't know if there was any stimulus for the landlords that was not coming in. May or may not have been coming in. I don't know. Let's do that. Did that change anything? I don't know. I'm so new to this live stream setup that I'm running right now. I honestly tried to watch like a lot of videos like when I had downtime at work and stuff, just to try to figure this live stream uh, setup up. I try to figure it out so much. Hopefully it's working. Hopefully I've got everything where it should be. But I'm sure I probably drove people crazy at work, like looking at my phone, watching how other people do their live streams and watching how people are able to chat back and stuff like that without, because what I was doing was I was using my cell phone, and I only had a little screen at the very bottom, and it wasn't working, and so I had to figure something out. So hopefully this is working much better than before. That is my end goal. Guard your privacy, it tells me. There's like a little warning. It says guard your privacy. Probably so you don't like Google something or like your home address or something whenever, or maybe you show your background or something. Yeah, we have the nurses. We have the nursing and not well. I think we do have the clinician shortage also, but I would imagine Mississippi being a lower end paying state is probably losing out a bunch because there are people that are going to like even just bigger cities making 4 times as much traveling, sending that mess home. You could probably leave Mississippi and go to like Houston, which wouldn't be, I mean, that's not close, but you excuse me, you go to Houston and make 4 times what you're making at your local hospital. Excuse me. Got choked up. I'm not sure about the clinicians though. If they can travel like that or not, and make that sort of money. It's very possible that they can. But yeah, I can imagine. Probably even bigger cities like Chicago and L.A. and New York are probably hurting real bad. But New York had an ad. Oh, I don't doubt they're having to wait double time. You're lucky if you have to wait double time. I mean, there was one hospital sending people away. Like they were just like, we're shutting the doors. We're not taking anybody else in. I've heard of hospitals here locally that are setting up makeshift rooms in the hallways and stuff like that. Like I don't even know if they're giving them curtains. I think they're just giving them beds and like the side table and putting them in the hallways of the EDs and stuff. But anyways, I remember seeing articles on like my news feed and stuff that would pop up, say sign on bonus $10,000 a week, New York City, in the very beginning of the pandemic. Who's not going to leave that, especially if you're not making much at all where you're at? Who's not going to do that? Respiratory therapist. There was a unit, and it was like this week. I think it was earlier this week. Excuse me. That had absolutely no CNAs, like 0 CNAs on the whole unit, and they were calling float nurses, like the in-house travel nurses, to work the floor as a CNA. And so you're talking like our local CNAs are lucky if they make 15 an hour. And so you're talking about 15 an hour versus paying the float nurse like 80 an hour. So they're losing $65 more an hour just to have a CNA, and it's the float nurse. Like that is ridiculous that they're paying the float nurses to come on as CNAs. And respiratory therapists, they're getting aggravated because they are oftentimes the ones in the rooms with the COVID patients. And they're seeing people, like I talked to a respiratory therapist the other day that was mad at like going to the grocery store and seeing people without masks and stuff because they've seen so many people die from COVID. Not so much here recently, at least the Omicron locally hasn't been as bad as like the Delta. The Delta was really bad. It was really bad here, but respiratory therapists were just getting aggravated and just so angry that people weren't even like trying to take it serious when they're seeing all this death every day. So we had one of our bigger hospitals had tractor trailers that they were pulling in, like the refrigerator trailers, and they were putting people in there because their morgues were so full. And of course, respiratory therapists are in every code, so they're seeing all that. I don't know what they're gonna do to restore equilibrium back to healthcare. I don't know. There's no. I really don't know. There's going to be too big of a deficit for a while to really do anything, because schools only you can only graduate so many. You can't graduate 10,000 nurses a month. You can only graduate on one time a year or whatever it is. We graduated in July, so you could only graduate them every July. They're using what is a COTA? COTA. I'm sure whenever you spell it, I'm gonna know exactly what it is, but I don't know what a COTA is. But yeah, I have no idea what they're gonna do to restore the equilibrium back to healthcare. It's. Oh, also, hello, Jerry. Nice to see you today. I don't know what they're going to be. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, and they get paid a lot too. Those occupational therapy assistants. I mean, they're pretty well paid. I don't right off the top of my head, I don't know what they're paid. But yeah, to figure it out, you're gonna have to use people like occupational therapist assistants and travel nurses as CNAs and things like that. You're liable to see doctors actually step down and do patient care. Um, the entire time I've been in healthcare, I've seen one single doctor put a patient on a bedpan. And that was like the only nursing thing I've ever seen a doctor do. And that was one doctor, one single time. And that was it. So I guess doctors are going to start being asked how to do, to do more tasks like that. And, I don't know how many of them are going to want to do it. So it's going to be a long time before the shortage is even close to being equal. Of course, we were short. We were short before the COVID, the 19, as we call it. But yeah, there's one of the kids on my daughter's baseball team. Their dad is an occupational therapist assistant, and I've seen their house, and they do okay. It's hard. Well, locally, it's hard to get education in occupational therapy assistant because there's not really anybody around here that does it. As far as the training goes for them, definitely a field that is in need, but not. I think there's only like one college within maybe 100 miles or so that does occupational therapy assistant or physical therapy assistant. And I always, there aren't any jobs like no one's hiring right now, or um there's no openings, or there's no I don't know. I guess if there aren't any jobs, if you get in like home health, there's not any patients wanting it. And I always get occupational therapy and physical therapy confused. And I always say, oh, they need a OT consult, but that's really PT because I'm an idiot. And oftentimes, no one is hiring. That sucks. That sucks when no one's hiring. But I am the biggest idiot when it comes to PT and OT. Don't ask me. I don't know why either. Like, you would think I would know it, but I get the two confused. And I know they're not the same thing. but I still get the two of them confused quite often. And then, like, if I say the wrong one, which I do oftentimes, I look like an idiot when the patient's like, "No, you mean PT." Oh yeah, I do mean PT. Yeah. Ugh. What about the school system? You ever tried to work for the school system? I think the school system locally hires occupational and physical therapy assistants, but I don't know. I don't really know if that's what you want to do. Um, but I know that they do that here. The school system does. But that may not be where you want to go. Drink me a little bit more out of my marinara cup. And that sucks on the turn though. Best healthcare is nurse. Well, I don't want to say the best. I would say the most dependable. No, not even dependable. I don't know what you'd call it. Like you always have you always have the ability to work. Yeah, yeah. Always there's always work in nursing. So when it comes to that, like they are always constantly hiring nurses, no matter like where you go. They are always hiring nurses. No one's ever not hiring nurses. And if they say they're not hiring nurses, there's something wrong. Like no one's ever fully staffed on nursing, ever. I feel like no one's ever fully staffed on respiratory therapist either. But they don't graduate, but like maybe 5 or 6 out of their class a year. You know, it is that they don't really get a lot. If I would have known, um, like I got into nursing because I did not understand healthcare at all. Had I understood healthcare when I was younger and went to school, I would have gone into nuke med. Nuke med is where it's at. You're talking like, I mean, even like 5, 6 years ago, you're talking like 100 grand straight out of school, and it's just an associate's degree. But the program only graduates like 2 or 3 a year, so it's a hard competitive program to get into. But had I known about it when I was younger, I would have gone into nuke med. And then they hire, you know, every so often. I don't know how often they do hire, but there's a couple jobs. There's a couple listings locally for nuke med. But even when I was looking at it after becoming a nurse, it was like 5 or 6 jobs, something like that. Yes, stenography and radiation therapy. Yeah, both of those as well. Especially like anything radiography. Yeah, man. We'll see you next time, bud. Hope everything down in Mississippi goes well. We'll see you next time. It's been good. Good night to you, sir. But yeah, stenography and radiography, they're going places as well. And so is ultrasound. Gracious, I can't think. Ultrasound, that's starting to become a new. I don't think it's going away, but you could be right. You could be right about nuke med going downhill. But ultrasound is climbing. They're doing a lot more with ultrasound rather than just like looking at babies in bellies. Like it's getting bigger and bigger. Ultrasound is definitely for sure, and so is like the TENS machine. Oh, I can't think of that one. Like where you put the I can't think of what it's called right now. It's not telemetry, I know that much, but yeah, radiography and stenography and ultrasound, all those are starting to climb, and you don't have to do this, the patient care. You don't have to do the same patient care that like the nurses do. Because there's been times where I've had to do CNA work, not as a CNA, but I've had to do CNA work as a nurse. Yes, cardiac ultrasound. Yes, especially with like the baby boomers getting older, because like the youngest one is probably 60 now, and so that's the largest generation, and them cardiacs is starting to act up. I'm sure that they starting to beat a little funny. They want to ultrasound them into something else and get them running right again. Yeah. Dang, I had a thought process. I don't forget. Oh, working on the CNA. When I was in dialysis, there were times where like every now and then they would like float nurses into one particular unit, and then like with the hopes that they would all show up, and kind of judge if a nurse didn't show up, they'd be okay. And so every now and then I would float to this one particular dialysis unit, and then I would have to work as a tech instead of a nurse. And so they paid me as a nurse to be a tech on this particular dialysis unit. And patients would be like, "Aren't you the nurse?" And nope, not today. I am just the tech, not working as the nurse. And they paid me as a nurse too, which was ridiculous on their part. They should have just sent me home. Of course, I guess they'd had to pay me too because I'd have taken PTO. But yeah, the ultrasound people and the radiography and sonography, they don't have to do the patient care that you would have to do as a nurse. Like I said, I've had to do basic patient care, like the bottom of the barrel patient care as a nurse before as well. Especially when, if it's a great big old poopy, you're not just gonna leave your CNA in that mess. If you got the ability, you're gonna help them out, even though it's gonna be wicked gross and you're not gonna want to do it. You're still gonna have to get in there and clean somebody out, clean their bed out or whatever it is. It's gonna be no fun. No fun at all. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir, brother. But yeah, I wish I would have known more about healthcare when I got into it, though, rather than just thinking, oh, nursing's the only job available, so I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna get into that. I don't really know that I would have changed what I would have done, but I think I would have maybe looked harder in school or tried harder in school. School that rolling admissions. Rolling admissions, like a new class entering every 2 months. What if you fail? Like, like, so every 2 months, and the LPN program, I'm assuming is 3 semesters. So I'm assuming it is because of the shortage. But if like, so in my school, if you failed 3 classes, you were done. So, or three exams. And there was like an exam every 2 weeks or so. So if you fail your first 3 exams, and then could you then jump back in after 2 months, and redo it again? That would be, rather than waiting like an entire year or whatever, that would be pretty cool if you could jump back into school and sort of like retake those, like almost like when you're in elementary school and somebody had to like repeat a grade. Like I wonder if you could do that, except do it, within 2 months rather than waiting the entire year or whatever. That yeah. But yeah, I'm almost sure that they're doing the rolling classes every 2 months because of the shortage. That would be my biggest bet. Like I would like to see more workforce development sort of thing going on. Like where you train like high school juniors or seniors, and you start them out with like their junior year, do like their CNA program, and then like their senior year, do like all their like prereqs for nursing, or maybe even like their basic nursing classes, and then by the time that they graduate, they could do the summer semester, whatever, and become a nurse at 18, 19 years old, straight out of high school. You know, you could be an LPN. In my mind, you could be an LPN like months after you graduate high school. That would be awesome. That would probably help as well, but I don't really think that's going to happen. You could probably do it easier with the CMA, RMA sort of people. You could probably do it that one easier. They do that at some high school. Yeah, we do not have that program here. It'd be a lot cooler if we did, but we don't have that program, that style of program here locally. That would be awesome. If someone would offer that rather than just you know, here or there, not quite everywhere, schools, but just my idea. I don't know if it'll work. But we did have a workforce development program at my high school, but like I said, it wasn't healthcare related. They taught you like HVAC and working on mechanics, auto mechanics, and working on cars and stuff like that. I would imagine a lot of factory workers could probably get an education of workforce development in high school. Excuse me, something like that. The maturity level is definitely a concern. I was an idiot until like 25. I was stupid. So at 18 years old, no, I would not trust me as a nurse. So no, that wouldn't be. Yeah, I can definitely understand the maturity level. Even at 22, which is what I guess you could be when you graduate with a BSN, even at 22, I don't think I was mature enough to do anything anywhere close to what I'm doing now. I don't, yeah. No, I don't think that they would take it serious enough to be a nurse right after high school. Now that you mentioned the maturity level, some people probably could and would. An individual like myself would not. I would not. Not at all. I was entirely too immature at 18, 19 years old. But like I said, I was still too immature for this at 25. I was an idiot. But I don't know. I guess you'd have to do like an NCLEX and then like a how serious are you NCLEX? Like a serious test. I don't know. You'd have to do something like that. Yeah, I didn't start nursing school till I was 27. 27 or 28. So I was almost 30 when I graduated. I think I was 27, yeah. I had to take high school chemistry in nursing school because I never had high school chemistry. And I felt like Billy Madison because I was in there with a bunch of 10th graders. I took it at the community college because they had a early college program. So I had to take 10th grade chemistry with a bunch of 10th graders, a bunch of 15-year-olds. Here I am at 27. I think I was 27, 28. I've already got one child. Done being married. Yeah, I just had one at the time. Oh, man. Why did I do that mess in 10th grade at 15 like everybody else did? Because I was an idiot and wasn't mature enough to think about future stuff at all. But, tis what it is. It's over with now. There was like one other person in that class, and she turned 21 in the class. I remember I remember they asked if it was a dry class because we were at community college. We'd like to bring a party to the class. The professor was not amused by our question. The teacher. I don't remember if we called him professor or if we called him teacher. I can't remember. He was a cool guy. I think we just called him Scott, to be honest with you. He was a doctor of some sort of science, PhD doctor. But yeah, 10th grade chemistry. Got 27. Feeling like old Billy Madison over there. Billy Madison, that was a good movie. He didn't make it all the way through school. He made it like, what, 9th grade, 10th grade? O'Doyle rules. Took him out of something. I know it was high school. Because I got a feeling your whole family about to go down, but I got to study for a math test. I don't know if anybody even remembers that movie. Early Adam Sandler. I don't even know if he's still on Saturday Night Live for that or not. Good times were had with old Billy Madison. What year was that? Let's take a look. Billy Madison, 1995. Yeah. What was that, 28 years ago now? 27 years ago? Man, I have gotten old. Do I think the role of a CNA and LPN completely different? Yes. Completely different. I've been both. In no way, shape, or form are they the same at all. Your CNA, unless they're a med tech, which they're not really used outside of nursing homes, cannot give meds at all. And even if they are a med tech, they cannot give a lot of meds. They can really only give the very basic of meds, but then again, they have to be a med tech to even give the basic meds. Like they're not going to do any sort of breathing treatments. They're not going to do any IV meds at all, and they're going to give like very basic cardiac meds. No narcs at all, and then do a lot of patient care. Whereas the LPN is in the nurse. Let's stay in the nursing home setting. They're in the nursing home setting. The LPN is the nurse. A lot of times the charge nurse. Sometimes the nurse manager. And so it's just a completely different role from a CNA to an LPN. You still do a lot of patient care, but it's a lot less patient care than the CNAs. You're not going to do baths as an LPN. You're not going to help trim their beards or anything like that. You're not going to do any of that as an LPN, whereas you're doing all patient care as a CNA. You're not doing any of that as an LPN. You're going to do the patient care. You're going to do is like if they have some sort of ostomy, you're going to probably change that. Anything that really requires like the turning of a patient, like if they have a pressure sore or something, you're going to do a lot of that. But anything other than that, you're not doing a lot of patient care. So yes, completely different roles. Just in general, they're not at all the same. But I will say I think that the CNAs need to get paid more because you're working hard for that little bit that you're making. Somebody told me the other day that CNAs are leaving and going to like Sheetz and Walmart. Sheetz is a gas station. They're going to like Sheetz and Walmart and grocery stores just because they're making dollars more an hour than they were making killing themselves as a CNA. There's an advertisement for the Sheetz gas station for $16 an hour. LPN versus RN, all depends on the setting. And a lot of it's, if I had to say it, politically driven because hospitals can make a lot more on a BSN than they can an LPN or even an ADN and LPN. But it's a lot finer of a difference. and again, it sort of depends on like your state, and so a lot of it's like politically driven. So like in some states, LPNs can do assessments. In other states, LPNs can't do assessments. Why? I don't know. I mean, LPNs can do. Yes, it's very demanding, very hard on your body. CNA work is, but LPNs in some areas, even in areas that they're allowed to work in states they can't do assessments in, they're not allowed to push certain meds. Like oncology, an LPN can push meds, but can't access the portacath. It makes no sense as to why, and I am almost certain that is a billing thing, because the portacath that's here is a lot like any other connection, like a PIC line that's under your arm, or an A line that's in. I don't know if LPNs do A lines or not, but they can do PIC lines. So why are LPNs allowed to do PIC lines but not portacaths or A lines? Is and it. I honestly think that the difference between LPNs and RNs is politically money driven as far as what insurance companies are going to pay for. And in some areas, like where I currently work right now, there is absolutely no difference in anything that an LPN can do that an RN can't do, or vice versa. They are very much on equal playing fields where I currently work right now. And so, yes, it all just depends on like state wise where you're located, and you know what, like even your company. If your state says an LPN can do every single thing an RN can do, but your company says, oh no, they can't because we're not getting billed the same, or you know whatever it may be. As bad as that sounds, it just depends on what they say. But it's, I don't, you know, I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but I'm sure that there's meaning behind it somewhere. Somebody has done their homework and said LPNs are ill-equipped to do this, and the RNs are much more equipped to do this. But it is what it is. Yes. Yeah, I feel respected as an LPN with the nurses that I work with. Is the respect you get from nurses, um, at least in my personal experience, comes from like work ethic, like the tasks that they've seen you do um, responsibly or correctly, or you know whatever it is. If you if you're an individual who um, very nervous individual, an individual who has a hard time communicating, it doesn't matter what your title is, you're going to have a harder time getting respect. If you're an individual who shows up late for work and leaves on a mess and um, doesn't help, you know, if you see another nurse drowning, you're not going to help them. I think that plays a lot more role of lack of respect or respect rather than the title. You know, a lot of us, the nurses, um, a lot of us respect each other no matter the title, as long as you know we don't have beef with each other. Which that's you know that's another thing. But yeah, no, I feel respected. The respect, the biggest respect breakdown that I've seen is like CNA to nurse, like no matter the title of nurse. Like it seems like that respect breakdown just hits hard. Like, and going from you know being in both roles, I can see that being like real hard because I remember being a CNA and task being like I don't even remember what the task is, but you know just saying, oh I don't know why that nurse did it that way. They're an idiot. And then I'll go back like later as a nurse and do that same task the way that the nurse did it, you know, before me. Like, oh wait, maybe they're not an idiot, you know. So the CNAs don't know what the nurse is going through, and the nurse doesn't know what the CNA is going through, and so that's a big lack of respect there. and then no one wants to communicate with each other on either ground because they both feel that they're right as far as nurses and CNAs, and so that is the biggest respect breakdown. I would say even more so than management down is CNAs to nurses, and the management down is that's pretty bad. But typically management started on the floor too, so as long as you got management that work their way up, they respect pretty much everybody. But if you got management that didn't like climb the ladder, that just showed up as management, I feel like that's a big breakdown there too. But no, I wouldn't say that just because I'm LPN I have lack of respect. Not at all. No, it's the same amount, no matter what the title is. Finish my tea. I will say there are some nurses though that they're like BSNs, or maybe even higher than that. That like if an LPN gets promoted um, to some sort of like charge nurse or management or whatever it is, they'll be like, oh, I'm not, I can't take orders from them. They're an LPN, or they're not supposed to be over me. They're an LPN. When in reality they're not like necessarily over that person, but they're in a management role. But then the BSN gets like upset because they're BSN, and an LPN is now like the charge nurse. They get like angry at that, and the LPN may have like 40 years experience, and the BSN may have 2, but they still feel that they're charge nurse, the BSN. So, but again, I don't think it's like lack of respect. I think it's just, I don't know. I think it's just more related to like that individual's character, but not. I think they still respect each other. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's the best I can answer that question. As I ranted on about it. Don't know if I did answer that or not. Hope I did. Got something coming up here. Oh. This is new. Sorry, as I'm like doing this live stream, I'm finding new tricks that I've got going on. I work with more male nurses than I've ever worked with in my entire life right now, with three male nurses that I work with. I've never worked with that many male nurses before in my entire life. So yeah, 3 of us. Pretty good. It's worked out pretty good. Yeah, it is what it is. I will say I was the only male nurse in my class. There were no other male nurses in my class out of 30. So 29 women, 1 man. 'Twas just I know people probably like, oh, that must have been awesome. No, it was miserable. Being the only male nurse in a 29 females, 30 people. It was. I heard things that I didn't, conversations. I was like, are you serious right now? Y'all, this really the conversation we're having right now? This is not a good conversation. But it is what it is. But yeah, it's the most male nurses I've ever worked with, and dialysis is the most male CNAs I've ever worked with, male techs. I don't even remember, maybe 5 of them were in that one. So it was pretty good too. Pretty good ratio, I should say, from male to female. Ugh. Learning this whole system here. Bear with me. It is working out, I hope. At least I hope so. Of course, I don't really know. How weird pixel. I won't find out till later, I guess, how this goes. Let me move this back here like that. And do that like that. That is the best I can come up with. Nursing's definitely getting more and more, I don't want to say male dominant, more, the ratio's changing, male to female. It was 97% men, 97% women, 3% men, but you could definitely tell a change in how many men are coming into nursing. Since I've gotten into it, like when I very first started, even just as a CNA, 14 years ago, it was rare to see a male nurse. Like I remember taking telling a female officer that me and her should take a picture because we're two unicorns, because she was a female officer. And that was probably 8-9 years ago or so. And then it's changing for sure. It's going the way of more men getting into nursing. A lot like it's getting into the way of more females, more women getting into clinicians. Like my children's pediatric office is like there's probably 10 doctors, and there's probably 12 doctors, and 2 of them are men. 10 of them are women. Hello, futuristic vibes. I'll wave at you. I see your little wavy hand. Good evening. But it's definitely changing. What type of live stream is this? It's any type of live stream you want it to be. I guess. Does it have to have a theme? Like, how do you have it? I don't know. Whatever you want it to be, I guess. I'm not gaming. People blogs is what it came up as. I guess we can go with that. We can go with people blogs. I don't know. What kind of live stream should we call this? I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely for the change in healthcare. As far as the men to women ratio in any of the fields. Because when I got into it, it was a woman's job. But it's definitely not that way anymore at all. What does it say? Just randomly logged on, and it must be a sign. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad that my channel has helped you. I just wish I could help everyone. No, I don't really wish I could help everyone, but I'm glad to hear when I do help people. Try not to be a hindrance. Try to be a help to people. But glad I can help. Always a good sign. Oh. Let me see. I know that you have let me see, what I know you commented on something like the other day. Oh, becoming a CNA. Yeah. People in your ear telling you not to pursue the LPN, says it's a waste of time. I mean, it's always your end goal. Um, like I said, I was 27, I think 27, 28 when I went to school, because I was an idiot when I was 18 years old and could not go to school because it wasn't for me. If you're like older, like I was, and I mean 27 is not old, but I don't see why it's not for you. Like it's there's job security as an LPN, there's pay as an LPN, there's room to grow as an LPN. There's so much available as an LPN. I mean, yes, there's more of that as an RN, but it's also more schooling and more things like that. You're 30. I used to be 30. True story, I sure did. Back in the day. But that's nothing to cry at. But yeah, and unless you have the time to go ahead and put in the full 4 years, or you could get in an ECPI program and do 2.5 without working, and you have someone to support you, and you're not worried about getting food on the table at 30 years old, and you should go do your BSN if you have all of those things in place. You have the ability to take 4 years off and go straight to school and finish it that way. If not, LPN is definitely the way to go, and then build yourself up from there, because like I said, there's pay in it, there's room to grow. You don't even just have to go to the nursing home. Like, I mean, yeah, I worked at a nursing home. I've also worked at a hospital. I've also worked in substance abuse, which is where I'm at now. I've worked in dialysis. There's no need, no reason not to be an LPN, especially if you've got like all the prereqs knocked out and you just have to do the 1 year program. I mean, you're set right there. There's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. There's also nothing wrong with being 30. 30 was pretty good. My second baby was born at 30, when I was 30. Single woman, need to provide for myself, definitely don't have time to go back to school for 4 years. Well, good, I'm glad. Single woman, I am not a single woman. If I was a single woman, be okay. Thank you for your, Carlos, thank you for your videos. Got motivated last year to get into the program. 5 months left. That is awesome. That is amazing. 5 months left. So what, June, July? That is awesome, Carlos. I hope that you're able to get through it. For me, that last time was hard, because I could see the end, and like seeing the end made it harder for me. I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you, and these next 5 months go by quickly, and you're like, oh, I forgot how hard that was. Yes, competition for RN. So the competition for the RN program, not the bridge program, like the LPN to RN bridge program, is pretty much a guarantee. Once you get that LPN, you can bridge over pretty much anywhere. The competition to get in from 0 to RN is really, really hard, because like my LPN program, there was like 200 people that applied and like 30 got in. But like the RN program was like 600 people applied and 30 got in. And like they take like, so my T score had to be like a 67. Their T score had to be like a 74 or something like that. My T score was a 67. I barely got in. But yeah, competition to get into the RN school is really hard. But like I said, once you get that LPN to bridge to the RN is, I mean, all you gotta do is take prereqs and you're into that. July, yes, but yes, time will pass quickly. It just gets really hard. I remember I started applying for jobs. I graduated in August, I think, maybe July. Anyways, I started applying for jobs in like May. So, because time was coming up. I started applying with like 3 months to go. Like, no guarantee I was going to pass. No guarantee I was going to pass. I hadn't even taken the NCLEX. I started, typing up my old resume. just graduated. Class of July of this year. Yeah, I'd be reading that mess, be like, oh, that's, we're in May. You graduated in July. But yeah, I started applying like super early, months before I graduated. No one hired me, but I started applying super early. People were wrapped in, people were wrapped in titles and job shaming. As long as I'm making a good living, could care less about folks talking trash about a waste of time. It can be annoying. Yes, it can be very annoying to hear people talk trash, especially like it seems like a lot of the RNs and BSNs that say like don't bother with becoming an LPN. It's like they didn't have to do like what you're having to do. Here you are 30 years old, now you're going back to school. They didn't have to do that. A lot of these people that at least they don't do it aren't the ones that had to do it later. People, I'm gonna say you and me. Like I said, I was 28, you're 30, so 2 years difference. And so those people didn't have to go to school that late. They probably had someone to help them get through it in the very beginning, at 18 years old or whatever. They probably had mommy daddy's money to help them pay bills at that age. Whereas, we had to figure it out on our own and get out there and get it at our age. And so it's like they don't understand, and it's hard for them to understand, I guess. But it's definitely not a waste of time. It's really hard when you're there, and it's if you're gonna do like I did. I worked nights when I went through school. It's really hard to stay awake and complete everything. But once it's done, you will forget about how hard it was. Like I forget about how hard it was often, and then I look back and I'm like, wow, I forgot how hard that was to complete when I did it. That was miserable. And my wife will oftentimes remind me like, yeah, I remember, you were gone because I worked nights, and she'd be like, you would never work nights and then be gone for the rest of the day and sleep for 2 hours and then go back to work or whatever. It was terrible. Was it hard to find a job? No. Once I graduated, it was not. Before I graduated, no one would hire me. But once I graduated, I had a job, just boom, like that. And the economy wasn't bad. Because, I started went to CNA in 08. So probably started in 2012, somewhere around there. And the economy wasn't as bad as it is now. Or the shortage wasn't as bad as it is now. And no, it was not hard at all to find a job once I graduated and had that NCLEX. Once I had the NCLEX, it was pretty good. I have to work. My parents aren't paying my bills anymore. Yes, so a lot of those RNs that don't have to worry about becoming RNs or whatever, they probably still had parents' money coming in, and they're not paying their bills. There was one single person in my LPN class that I know of that still live with their parents, and they only got in the LPN program because it was a guarantee with their T scores, and the RN program was not a guarantee. But every other person in my LPN program was a working adult. And out of the 30 of us, I think maybe 2 of us didn't have kids. I had kids. I had one at the time, but I think there was only like 2 out of the 30 that did not have kids. So yeah, it was hard, because we had to sacrifice with our kids what we could do and what we couldn't do. Starting your CNA certification, not looking forward to it, to be honest, but feel like I need that first from what I hear from nurses saying. Your CNA is going to teach you if you can or cannot do the job of a nurse. You're going to see sights, sounds, and smells. You're going to hear patients be ugly with you. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get behind. You're going to learn from your mistakes. And that's the best place to start. There's no other better place to start than being a CNA, and that I always encourage that. Hey, Courtney the steak cook has showed up. Do you not want to be Courtney the steak cook?
I guess I make Courtney the steak cook.
That makes sense. But as a CNA, you're gonna hear. You just learn so much that's beneficial to you. It's ridiculous how much you'll learn. Most LPN programs have CNA certification built into the programs. My nursing school would not even consider you unless you had 2 years of CNA experience. Like, that was one of the getting into nursing school criteria. You had to have 2 years CNA experience to get in. Luckily, I had like 6. So, but yeah, my nursing school, like, your T's didn't. You could have scored 100 on the T's. If you had no CNA experience, they were not even going to like consider you.
I need a charger.
You need the charger. Dang, I missed Carlos's question. I know he wrote something, but I missed it.
I need to like pull it all the way across.
Okay. But yeah, you had to be a CNA for 2 years. They were that competitive that they could deny you without 2 years CNA experience. Like I said, there was hundreds of people trying to get into the program. If you didn't have 2 years experience, you were out. You were done. Don't even bother. Oh, she says hi to you.
Hi.
We're on full screen today. I figured out how to use it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she remembers the experiences of me going to nursing school. And it was not fun.
We had a newborn.
Debating on whether to enter RN after finishing LPN, especially since it's highly competitive, or settling for LPN and not worry about school anymore. It's always your call, Carlos. I mean, if you have the time and the ability, why not go back? If you feel like you want to make some money and pay some bills and get a house and then go back, do that. I mean, it's really sort of, whatever you feel at the time. I mean, it is what it is. It's your call. Once you finish that LPN, though, doors are going to open up. And you're going to see the doors open up, and you're like, wow, there's so much I can do now without going back to school. Or if you want to go back to school, go back to school. You will make more as an RN, but there's a lot of doors that's going to open when you get that. Don't want to be
LPN.
Yeah, with just your LPN. Don't want to be a CNA for 2 years. You probably won't have to be, depending on your school. Yeah, probably not now. Not with how big the shortage is. But yeah, we had to be CNAs for 2 years. Yes.
That was definitely then. I don't think it's that way anymore because of
the COVID.
Shortage.
Yeah, I mean that was over 10 years ago. So yeah, I don't think you have to do it now, but only 1 year after LPN. Yeah, can't imagine going back to school with a spouse or children. Kudos to everyone out there doing that, because I'm sure it's difficult to balance. Yeah, it was really hard to balance all those responsibilities, having to pay bills and work and try to like actually be a parent, which I probably was not very good at for at least that year while I was working nights and going to school. But at least our oldest does not remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that, but
yeah,
our oldest does not remember that.
Because I was pregnant and then we had a newborn.
Yes, I do remember that, and then it was so much fun. Oh, it was a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you want to go back and do it again?
No.
No. Okay. You tired today?
Yeah.
Do you want to lay down and go to bed?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't think you have to be I can look up my school. I think salaries will be capped. And it's unfortunate that I think they're going to take it out on the travel nurses because it's really the agencies themselves who are getting into trouble. Um, because of Congress is now investigating these travel nurse agencies, and so I think that they're going to take it out on the travel nurses themselves. So yeah, I think that they're going to be capped, which is unfortunate because they were making like bank. Um, if someone gets unionized, um, if there's a travel union, the union won't let that happen. But if that doesn't happen, I bet that there becomes a cap on the travel nurse pay, which is going to be unfortunate to a lot of people because they're only in it for the money. They're not going to cap the CEOs. The the rich rule the world, so I mean they're not gonna cap them. It would be really nice if they like deducted them, because they the agencies are charging like more than 3 times what they used to charge, and the travel nurses were already making 4 times as much pre-COVID, and so the CEOs were raking it in. Um, but that would be so awesome if they would cap the CEOs, cap the admins and all them. That would be awesome. Do I agree with the nurse cap? No, I don't agree with the nurse cap. I do agree with the CEO cap, or the admin cap, or the board cap, or whatever it is. Do you guys think new grads entering the field during the pandemic have a better chance for job opportunity because of the shortage? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much so.
I agree that they have a better job opportunity, but I think that their school was less. I think that the nurses that are coming in now, I think that their school didn't prepare them enough because they're trying to hurry them through, which is unfortunate. But yes, I think the job opportunity is much higher, but I don't think the school is quite the same, which is unfortunate. But I could be wrong on that. School could be just as hard now, or just as preparing as it was. But I don't know. But yes, Jesse, I agree with the cap on the CEOs. Disagree to cap the nurses. But I mean, again, hopefully they remain making 4 times what the regular floor nurses make, which is that causes some jealousy there. But um, travel nurses get the crap assignments. They just do. Everybody already knows it.
But that's why they get paid so much.
I mean, yeah, they get paid so much because they do get the crap assignments. But we had a travel nurse at my facility a few weeks ago. Said she was going to Maine to make. She gave me the dollar amount. I can't remember what it was, but it was like 3 times the dollar amount that we were at. I was like, you better go. Not sure why it bothers me so much, but I really don't like it when people get into nursing just for the money and don't really care about people or have a passion to help others. Is that common? Yes. And this is why I encourage being a CNA so hard, because people who get into it for the money get out of it very quickly when they realize how hard it is. Because if you're a CNA and then you get into nursing to make more money but still do the same job, that's different. But if you get into nursing simply to be a multi-thousandaire, you're going to hurt yourself. You're not going to feel good at the end of the day for anything. But yeah, it's very common. Very intelligent people who can't do the job can go through nursing school, graduate nursing school, and then when they get the job, they realize, oh, you know what, this is much different than what I thought it was going to be. I used to work with a girl like that who she was a BSN. She was like 23, and I remember a patient pooped in the floor, like just pooped right in the floor, and she was in the hallway gagging, and then like turned in her notice within the month. So was not for her. Was not for her at all. But yeah, it happens. It happens quite a bit. It's not uncommon to see that at all. Yep. It happened that way. Again, that was one of the brand new BSNs. Went to school. Oh, you're welcome. You reading comments?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like the new setup?
Yeah.
I like the new setup much better than the old setup.
I like the lights better.
I like the lights better too because they're not blinding.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to turn the screen or turn the camera?
Move the camera a little more this way so I don't have to lean off the bed.
All right, well, let's turn everything. Is that
Okay.
better?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to help you.
I know. Just fixing my hair.
Okay. You made me old.
I'm sorry. Where you going?
I know, we got up early. There's a way I could put music on the background, like smooth jazz. You think I should put like smooth jazz
You could
in the
put
background?
like other music on here.
Well, I'm sure I could, but you know, I don't have any right now.
Could you do it on? Well, it's because it's live. I wonder if you could, because it wouldn't go against community guidelines because it's live.
No, you can use like royalty free.
Yeah.
STNA. Been subscribed for a while. Appreciate your channel. Well, thank you, Jordan. I'm not sure what STNA means. I'm so sorry. I'm the worst with abbreviations. I don't even use abbreviations at work for like regular medical abbreviations because I'm so bad with abbreviations.
I read the word yawning and it made me yawn again.
A nurse in Minnesota.
Nice.
Y'all got me yawning. Yeah, not trying to make you yawn, but
Sorry.
you know, we're definitely tired. -6.
Ugh. Let me see what the temperature is here.
It was 71 here today. That is uncommon.
The high was 72.
The high was 72.
Mm-hmm. The low is going to be 41. It's 54 right now. They're calling for snow tomorrow.
Yeah, they're calling for snow. It's 72 here today. They're calling for snow. State tested nursing assistant.
Oh.
Yeah. All of our CNAs are all of our CNAs are state tested in North Carolina. Nice to meet everyone.
That must be like he must be like a CNA there. Or
Yeah.
she. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
he or she, I don't really know.
Well,
Jordan is a girl or boy
could be
name.
either way. Yeah. Because I know some people call them like LNAs, like licensed nurse assistants. We are in North Carolina. What state we in? We in North Carolina.
NC.
Sometimes we go to Florida or Alabama for vacation.
That's about it.
We don't live in either one of those.
Or we go to South Carolina.
We go to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, yeah. Say it. He says
Virginia
it.
Beach.
Jordan says it that way to make it sound more fancy.
Hey, you do the same thing.
I fancy up some terms. I will fancy up some terms. That I have out of Ohio. I have fancied up many a term.
Still fancies up terms.
Oh, you're in
Oh,
Charlotte. Okay. We're about
We're not far.
about an hour and a half north of you.
Oh, living in
New York. Oh, okay. Well, then we're not an hour and a half north of you anymore. Yeah, down in Charlotte. I went to UNCC. I never took a class, but I went a few times. University of North Carolina, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yep. The 49ers. And they're on Highway 49. And their mascot is the 49ers. I think that's why their mascot is...
That's why they're called the 49ers.
I know. You know, the 29ers are gold miners. I wonder if the 49ers were also gold miners.
Probably.
Like, it would make sense.
I want to live in Raleigh, Durham.
You don't want to live in Raleigh, Durham. You want to live outside of Raleigh, Durham.
Yeah, I mean, you could be outside of... Oh, you're a dude. Okay.
Jordan's a dude.
I'm just guessing. But I said he, so...
Yeah. You want to live outside of Raleigh, Durham. It'd be expensive to live inside of Raleigh, Durham. I guess you could do it, but it's not cheap. Wake County is a very large county. Durham County is also that area. But parts of Raleigh are very expensive to live in. Her cousin lives in Raleigh. Does he still live in Raleigh? Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is beautiful there, though. I'll say that. And you're not far from the beach. In Raleigh, Durham, like 2 hours maybe. If that.
Sad with my glasses on.
You don't look sad.
I do. My eyes look like...
Will working 12 hours as a CNA kill you?
Nah.
Well, if you can do it as a CNA, you can do it as a nurse. The thing about 12s is you only got to do 3 of them.
It's 3 shifts.
You do 3 12s, and then you volunteer for the 4th one. Or I'm going to say volunteer for the 4th one. Yeah, you're voluntold.
We call it voluntold.
You're voluntold. What I used to try to do that very rarely worked out is I would try to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and then also have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the next week off, and then work Thursday, Friday, Saturday the following week. So you had you would do 6 in a row every time, but you would have almost a week off, if that makes sense. Never worked 12-hour shifts, but
it's tempting.
Tempting because 4 days off. Yes. Yes. Yeah, you still got to take care of yourself. Because, I mean, you still got to do grocery shopping, sleeping, things like that.
We were married at the time, so I was taking care of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that wasn't...
She's a single lady. I don't think I can sing it. But, anyways, you still gotta have time for grocery shopping, regular maintenance stuff, drink plenty of water, eat right, eat correctly.
He's one to talk.
I ate things that had a bunch of calories in it so I'd stay awake.
You ate trash.
I ate trash. I ate a bunch of calories. But yeah, you do
That's
want to...
That's not eating right.
Hey.
You ate trash.
It was, I mean, yeah, I did. I ate terrible food. JR is in Columbia, hoping to apply to the USC Columbia new MEPN program. One of my LPN classmates just started there. It's 5 semesters, and I would be a master's prepared RN. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And Columbia is only 6 hours away. I could go there.
Have fun. I told him if he gets his RN, I'll divorce him.
She does not want me to go back to school. But anyways, that sounds amazing. I don't know why more schools don't have that going on. I wish more people did. What? That sounds really cool. But I heard Arkansas also has a LPN RN program.
Yeah, I'm good on meal prepping and things like that. I'm just worried about sleep and making it through the shift. As long as you make sure you, as soon as you get off, you go to... Well, if you're not doing nights, then it's not as bad.
No, but she's got to go to school too.
I mean, you did that.
I mean, yeah.
You were working nights and then going to school, and then we had a newborn baby at the same time.
Yeah.
With 12-hour shifts.
Yeah. But again, you only had to do 3 of them. So, But like I said, I try to do 6 in a row. 6 in a row, have 8 off. Do 6 in a row, have 8 off. And it sucked.
He didn't do it the right way.
I don't know if that's. But if you have like a day off in between, I don't know if that's right either. It depends on what your body can handle. I would say 3 12s is better than 5 8s. Or even 4 10s. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge difference between nurse practitioner and master's degree in nursing. For one, you're not a clinician at all as a master's degree in nursing. As a nurse practitioner, you can prescribe meds, see patients. I mean, you're a doctor. You're not, a doctor.
You're just not a licensed doctor.
Yeah,
You're
but I mean, you
underneath a doctor.
you have your own patients. You have a lot of responsibility. A master's degree in nursing is you're still a floor nurse. You're probably going to go up to management. You're probably going to be nurse manager, DON, clinical supervisor, things like that. Yes, there's a huge difference in the two of them. Just make sure you listen to your body. Mental health, yeah. Listen a little mental health. Because you're going to feel it. Like, you're going to feel tired.
You didn't do that.
No. You're going to feel tired, like, emotionally, mentally. You're gonna be exhausted, and it's gonna be terrible.
CNA is only a few weeks training, so I'm bracing to see it. I'd be interested.
Yeah.
I mean, you were a CNA when you were doing your 312s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was a CNA doing 312s. Yeah. But her CNA is only a few weeks. Mine was a whole semester.
But it's also because they're trying to get people in faster in the programs.
Yeah, and she's in New York.
Yeah, that's probably in and out. They want them in there faster.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. Home health was where I got my start as a CNA. Didn't pay anything, but it was definitely like a good place to start. But like working in a facility, you'll get better help with the nurses. Caregiver burnout is a real thing. Yes, mental health. Mentally, you've got to be in it, especially if you're going to be a CNA and going to school. Alright, so since I'm over 35 and I drank a mess load of tea, I gotta go pee. You want to chit chat with some people for a second?
I can. Go ahead.
I've had to go for a while.
Go ahead.
Because I'm getting older. Are you gonna sit in the captain's seat?
Yeah. Are you gonna move to the other chair when I get up here?
I can sit in the chair.
Okay. Captain's chair. Now it's dark in here because he shut the door. Hello. Rex says Retro. Is that your name? That's cool. I like that name. I'm on. Oh, I'm sorry. I worked really hard today. It was crazy at the restaurant. I don't mean to be yawning so much. How was it supporting the spouse's wife during school? Well, that's a good question.
What's the question?
How is it supporting a spouse as a wife during his schooling?
How supporting was I?
How was it for me supporting you during your schooling? I quizzed him a lot. I gave him like.
I'm just gonna turn this in the scene again. Okay.
Anytime he had a test coming up, I would ask him questions about the whatever chapters it was on.
Do you mean like emotionally, financially? Like,
I was just going through what
you
we
know,
did.
I don't know. You definitely got to have a good advocate, especially as an adult going to school. Like, you can't, if you do it by yourself, you really got to take care of your mental health. But if you have like somebody there with you that's going to help you emotionally and especially flashcard buddy.
Yeah, definitely. I made him flashcards. I did. I made him flashcards.
She couldn't look through the book.
In certain parts.
Like the bed sores.
Bed sores. I couldn't do the bed sores. That stuff was.
Oh, Jordan said something. I missed it. Nice to talk with people about the field of work. Sometimes it's easy to feel alone and all. It is easy to feel alone in all this, and to be honest with you, that's the whole reason why I started making the videos, is because it's easy for me to talk to the camera without, I could talk about how burnt out I was without feeling judged, from another nurse saying, "Oh, you think you're burnt out? Look at how burnt out I am." And so that was, to be honest, that's the entire reason why I even started making the videos years ago, was just to talk, and so, and the comments, when you get comments, you can read them at your own pace, and it helps, not feel so bad. So it definitely helped, Jordan, talking to people, not feeling alone, even though I was all by myself talking about it,
Because I can only do so much. Like, I mean, I know what he tells me about nursing, but I don't know everything. So I can't really talk to him about, like, the day-to-day stuff.
But yeah, it definitely helps. It definitely helps, not feel alone. And yes, she was my flashcard buddy.
Yep, made flashcards on all vocab, any vocab in the book.
Yeah, and abbreviations, because
abbreviations, vocab.
As I've said before, I am the worst with abbreviations. I don't use them. I spell out everything, which makes my colleagues very angry, because I'm the worst. I was a dialysis nurse. Yes, I was a dialysis nurse. Were you the primary nurse in that role? Did I have limitations? Define primary nurse. Was I the charge nurse? No. Was I the bay nurse? Yes. Basically, a bay is made up of, it's a team of a nurse and techs, or multiple nurses and techs, and a charge nurse is over the entire unit. And we had, I think, 5 bays. It was A, B, C, D, E, but A and B were isolation, so they were combined. So that was 2 nurses. One of them was bay nurse. One of them was floor nurse or something like that. Limitations, I don't remember having any limitations in that role, other than when blood had to be infused. That's 2 RNs no matter what in North Carolina. But there were no other limitations that I remember having as a dialysis nurse. I remember I hated it. I wasn't very good at it. I could do the job. I could do it well, but it wasn't for me. Yeah, I hated the hours.
The hours were not good with having kids.
No.
Our age kids. If our kids were older or like a lot younger, it'd been different. But having school age kids is not good with being a dialysis nurse.
It's a good job for someone who has no kids yet, or someone whose kids have grown up. So the LPNs assisting with the blood transfusion, it depends on your state, and it depends on what you mean by assisting. Initiation had to be done by 2 RNs. I have been part of plenty of blood transfusions, but I could not initiate them. I could monitor the patient. I could do every single thing with the patient other than be the one who started
and finished it, right? Like, you couldn't finish it either.
I can't remember if I could or couldn't.
I don't think you could. It had to be. They had to They had to be the one to sign off that they
Yeah,
did.
they had to be the one to sign off on
They
it.
had to say that they were the ones that started and finished it.
I went to the lab, got the blood,
Everything
made sure the blood
started
was right, put the blood on the pole, didn't spike it because you couldn't, because that was the initiation part of it. Took the vitals, did every single thing else that needed to be done other than physically taking the bag and putting the spike in it and running the blood. Like set the machine.
You just couldn't pretty much push the button.
Couldn't push the button and go. It's, waste of resources if I've already done all that. Why,
Just sign the paper.
If somebody just sign the paper, I'm gonna do this thing. But you have to have two nurses. You have to have two nurses because if something goes wrong, you have to have all hands on deck immediately. Because blood transfusions can go bad quickly. I've never seen it happen myself, as far as the transfusion I was doing, but I've seen after effects, or when the code's called, things like that. But orange lights. Oh look, it's off the dresser now. Like that, yeah. I've got my orange light going. That's what's up. Ooh, big yawn.
You can see the blue one more now too.
Is that blue or purple? I try to make it purple.
It could be purple, but it could be the reflection off of this and the camera. It makes it look white. Blue.
I tried to make it our wedding colors.
Oh.
That's what I tried to do. That's why I picked orange and purple. My aunt had a bad experience with the train. Yeah, they can go bad quickly. That's why you have to have two nurses. At least here in North Carolina, that's standard. You have to have two nurses. You can't do it by yourself. Because if something goes wrong, you have to have somebody there to help immediately. That's it's terrible.
Is that too saying that there's two people in the video? In the camera?
No. These are people. This is the graphic who's
right
watching.
Here,
right. I don't know why it says two.
Down there.
Oh,
it's where you had it on the thing.
Yeah.
Duh.
First time using this software, guys. First time. I think it's better than what we had last time. But
I like this setup better.
I do too. And if I need to Google stuff, I can Google it, and then I can. Here, you want me to show you? No, I don't want to. I don't want to mess it up. Whenever I Google something, it'll slowly pull the screen down so it shows the background of the internet, and then it'll pull it back up.
Oh, that's cool.
I know. It's really cool. I'm sure everybody wanting to know about nursing is excited to hear about how my live stream software has vastly improved. Figuring it out.
We're trying.
Trying to figure it out.
The chair looks purple.
The
And
chair
black.
looks purple.
On the screen it looks purple.
Yeah, it's definitely blue.
It's purple.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope your aunt was alright after that. That terrible. Deserve more subscribers. I've been pushing nursing videos on YouTube, and I only found a few channels with such authenticity.
Oh.
It's a big thank you so much. Those are kind words.
He tries really hard, y'all.
I do, and I actually do research and stuff. Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I actually do research or personal experience or things like that. Another good one. What's today's topic? There is no topic.
Whatever you ask.
Whatever you feel like, Cody. But another good channel, one that can do that. It's a husband and wife, and they do phenomenal work, and they have the resources to show you things. It's called RN Scrub. Phenomenal channel, and he will comment back. Well, like I said, it's husband and wife.
As much as they can.
They will comment back to you very quickly. They're based out of California, I know that from conversations I've had with RN Scrub, the channel, back and forth. But that's a very good channel, a very authentic channel, and they do a lot of like showing you like how to place a catheter, or how to start an IV. But like I said, they have the ability to do all that. I don't have a place to do that. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad that y'all enjoy the channel. Yeah, but RN Scrub is their name. They don't post very often, maybe one time a month, but what they do post is very informative. It's something you'll probably use, but because a lot of the nursing channels, like I used to watch a lot of them, and they'll tell you like, comment back, and I want to see your comments and things like that, and they won't comment back. And I'm like, why aren't you guys commenting back? You said you wanna comment, comment back. Give me a heart, give me a thumbs up, something. Yeah, definitely check them out. Do you have any tips dealing with test anxiety?
Oh,
We have a child
we have a child
who
with
has test
severe
anxiety.
test anxiety, actually.
I'm applying to nursing programs, but the TEAS scores scare me. The TEAS is a monster. I read a book. I think it was called like TEAS for Dummies. I got it from the library.
No, we bought it at books. We bought it at We bought it.
I thought I borrowed it.
No, we bought it so you could write in it and do the practice tests and stuff.
I thought I drove all the way up to Wilkesboro.
Mm-mm.
I drove to Wilkesboro for a book.
That was another TEAS test, like practice book.
Yeah.
But you bought the TEAS practice, like the TEAS for dummies, like the reading for dummies or all that. You bought that one at Barnes and Nobles.
You're probably right, but I know I drove to Wilkesboro to get one too.
Yeah, that one was like a TEAS like practice test book.
Mm-hmm.
That was at a library.
Yeah. Anyways, tips for test anxiety.
Take your time.
Take your time. It probably wants like unconventional.
Well, I mean, that's what works for Gator.
When I would get anxious, especially before a nursing exam, which are miserable, I went to my library at the school after work, and I turned on Andrew WK. If you don't know who Andrew WK is, look him up. Just don't have your speakers on very loud because he is aggressive. And when I listened to Andrew WK, I would pump my fist because his songs are about partying, and I would be so into pumping my fist and ready to party that I forgot all about my test, or at least my anxiety of my test, and I would go into my test. It's time to party, and do my test that way, looking like an idiot, and I was more worried about looking like an idiot rather than the anxiety that I was about to have taking this test.
Was this the second time?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the first time he did nursing school in his LPN, he failed by 1 point.
Oh. It was 0.3 of a point.
Okay, so, and that was because of his test anxiety.
Wah, wah, wah.
It was your test anxiety. You're not a good test taker.
No.
Terrible test taker. So obviously, what he's saying worked for him, so it could work for you.
So, anyways, I just look up Andrew WK, and when you see how this individual walks, he sort of pumps his fist and he walks like an idiot. I did that coming into my test, and I'm sure everyone was looking at me like, what is this idiot doing? And so I could care less about the test anymore because here I am. It's time to party, coming into the test and ready to party, and then got through it somehow. It was so much fun. Anyways, are you comfortable managing IV pumps with multiple lines? As a new LPN, I'm not real comfortable with them. And what's the highest acuity setting I've worked in? I worked on a step-down unit, the only diabetic ICU in the state of North Carolina at the time. I think that there's more.
There's probably more
There's
now.
probably
I'm
more
sure
now.
there's probably more now.
That was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
A multiple lines. I don't have a number as far as how many pumps and lines I've had. I don't know.
A lot.
No, he's talking about like at one time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been enough to where I didn't know where the alarm was coming from or the occlusion was coming from. I had enough occlusions in the lines where I didn't know where anything was coming from. I want to say 3 maybe. Probably more.
It'd have to be more.
Yeah. I'm not comfortable. I used to be more comfortable at it when I did it all the time. I don't do it anymore like that. In dialysis, I did it a lot. There was a lot in dialysis, simply, nature of the beast. But in substance abuse, I don't do that very much at all. You never get comfortable with IV pumps. Man, them things are aggravating. You never get comfortable with them. By the time you do get comfortable with them, they change them. Label everything. Bring painter's tape, the blue tape,
painter's tape,
and a Sharpie, so you can label everything. Don't write on the bag. You will be busted for writing on the bag because they say that the Sharpie can go through the bag and infuse into the patient, which I don't think that that's actually true. But don't write on the bag. Write on the painter's tape. Yes, Jordan.
Good night, Jordan.
Good night. Jordan the dude. And so the highest acuity was the step-down diabetic ICU, but I think the most pumps was actually in dialysis. Probably.
Don't let him lie to y'all. He freaks out at IV pumps because when I was pregnant and in labor, he freaked out at all the fluid going in me.
What? I was on it. So when she had, I think it was our youngest. Our youngest of 3. Was it our middle child?
It had to be the oldest because I had epidural with her, and I was induced with her.
Okay. Anyways. So.
No, it could have been all of them.
It could have been all of them. Anyways, so on my pumps that I am used to, we were running like 125, something like that. And so 125 was
his wife is emotional.
10,000 bag at 125 is going to take like 8 hours. Something like that, because a 10,000 bag at 125 an hour is going to take like 8 hours to run.
She's laughing. She knows what I'm talking about.
And so like that was as fast as we would run it, like 125, maybe 200. Well, they ran her bag at 999, so her bag went into her in 1 hour, and I think it actually went quicker than that.
It went in pretty fast.
And so you're talking an entire 10,000 bag just went into her in an hour.
My epidural, Pitocin.
And so these fluids are going in her much quicker than I've ever seen, ever. Because I'm dealing, I was either dealing with
you were on the
cardiac or I was dealing with kidney. Both of which can't have fluids very fast and are on fluid protocols. And they just ran this entire bag into her in less than an hour.
Yeah, with all 3 of them, you were either doing
cardiac or dialysis. Yeah. And so they ran that entire bag into her very quickly. So I freaked out because I've never seen a bag go that quick before. And
no, with the 3rd one, I didn't have time to get a bag.
No, you didn't have anything in the 3rd one. Yeah, she was born in a hurricane in minutes, very quickly. So
he's freaking out, asking my doctor, "Is this okay? Are you sure this is okay? Are you feeling okay?"
I remember watching that line that would like go up every time you had a contraction. It would go down, and then it would go up,
He go,
And I
are
was
you
like-
alright?
I was like, did you feel that? Yeah, I felt that contraction. I'm trying this a little bit
Yeah,
more.
me too. It's because you keep moving.
I think you keep moving.
I don't keep moving.
Because I keep putting my arm on the armrest, and I think you're sliding over thinking that I need more armrest. I don't know. Probably true. But yes, I freaked out. I freaked out on at least 2 of the pregnancies whenever she had
freaked out
gave
about
birth.
3.
I didn't have time with the 3rd one.
You freaked out because I walked in holding myself.
Well, I tried to hurry up and get you there too. So the baby wasn't born in. My mama parked behind us. We'd never driven this car before. My mom parked behind us, and our driveway is single lane. I was like, "Mom, I need your keys. Courtney's having a baby now."
Well, they sent us home like 4 times.
This is true. They did send us home quite a bit, but
And that day, they sent us
Yeah.
home.
it was a hurricane too. They should have known that baby was coming.
We got the same room I came out of earlier that day.
Barometric pressure brings babies.
She was coming.
She was
And she is a hurricane still.
should have been future. Planning for the future with that one because she showed up in a hurricane. She is the one I am the scaredest of. I'm the most scared of that baby child. Terrified of her.
Didn't even catch the middle one.
Nope. Looks so strong. Gave birth like a champ. Did you give birth like a champ?
I mean, that's
I was there every time, so it's not like I wasn't there.
First one was 6 hours and 12 minutes. I was induced with her, but I only pushed for 17 minutes. 6
Mhm.
hours and 17 minutes. Pushed for 17 minutes. That's my first kid. Second kid, you go ahead and tell how you say it happened.
With the second one, she came out so quick. If you ever seen like the comedy movies, like where they catch the baby like across the room or something, our middle child came out that quick that me or the doctor did not catch her. She actually landed in the bag at the bottom of the bed, like that holds all the stuff. Like she shot in that bag. Sad part is that she actually came out so quick that her skin started like tearing.
She didn't
across
get
her face.
squeezed
She didn't
in
get
the
squeezed.
canal.
None of her. She didn't get squeezed, and so she had like a really, really low APGAR score, and so they took her immediately after that one, and so that one was terrifying. And she had a really low APGAR score, and they were in there for like an hour and a half before we could even
My
see
labor
her.
with her is only like 2 hours.
Yeah, and then the third one was like 12 minutes.
From the time I walked in the hospital to having her, I got in the bed and they said, okay, you got to push now. And I said, yeah, I know.
Yeah. It was no time with the third one.
Like I walked in and I was holding myself because she was right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was.
They said, don't have another one. We said, don't worry.
Don't worry. Plans are in the making.
Weren't supposed to have this one.
Mm-mm. Nope. That was such a good time. When's the 4th? Never. There is no 4th. We could adopt a child, that would be the 4th, but that's probably not going to happen either.
We're good with the 3.
Nope. No 4th. Don't have kids yet, but I really want to give birth quickly. Like you want to give birth quickly, like you want to only be pregnant for like a month, or like you want to have a really quick birth. Look, guys, I've only been pregnant for a month.
Here's the baby.
What was that movie, Jack? His mom was
Yeah.
His mom was only pregnant for like 2 months, I
yeah,
think.
like a little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
or like half the time.
Yeah, because he was like 1/4. 1/4 of the time, I think, something like that. That movie, Jack. It's a Disney movie.
I had a cramp leg.
Robin Williams. You okay?
Yeah, I had a cramp in the thigh. Quick birth.
Quick
guy.
birth. Yeah. having the baby, having a 1 month pregnancy would be, questionable health habits.
I was really lucky to be able to have quick births.
Yeah.
Quick and easy. All three were easy.
Easy.
Easy births. The births were easy.
All right.
You didn't think so.
I don't think. An entire human being produced. I don't think it was easy, but
I had an epidural with the first.
Mm-hmm.
I had stayed on with the second, which don't do that. It could have been just I didn't have enough time for it to get through my system, but I would never recommend that to anybody having a birth or giving birth. And then I didn't have any medication at all with the third one.
Nothing. Third one was all regular. Didn't have time for anything.
I didn't want anything.
I know you didn't want anything, but I'm saying, like, even if you had wanted anything, they didn't have time
There wasn't
to get
getting
it into
anything.
Stadol is
it's kind of like a
blocker. It is a pain blocker, but it's not a very high powered one. It's not one that's on the street. It might be on the street, but it's not.
Is.
It probably is.
It pretty much makes you feel high.
Yeah, but it's not morphine. It's not.
It makes you feel high and drunk at the same time.
Narcotic is the word I'm looking for. I'm a substance abuse nurse. And I can't think of the words I'm looking for.
It is.
Of course, it is.
It's very dangerous to the baby if it's not
absorbed.
If it's not absorbed through the mother long enough, and it wasn't in my system long enough for it not to get out of our second child. So it was actually in her system for a long time. Yeah, very scary. It did not. And then he wasn't allowed to go over there to her because of her score and stuff, but I could not voice. They kept telling him to come to me, but because that was in my system, I could not voice to him to go to her. Like I was fine. I knew I was fine, but I wanted him to go to her, but I could not. My brain was saying that and screaming that, but my body was not voicing it.
I got to hold her first.
You got to hold two of them first.
I did get to hold two of them first.
Because you were supposed to catch two of them.
I caught one. Oh, don't no.
And there's nothing wrong with the epidural. There's really not. I mean,
an entire person is about to come out of you.
Yeah.
I mean, don't. No.
Most women get epidurals. It's nothing wrong with getting an epidural.
I'd want all the pain meds available. An entire person come out of me.
And our doctor for the first two, she was a midwife, and she knew he was a nurse, and she made him deliver both the first two. So.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Not really deliver, because I delivered them, but...
The perfect dad. Whatever. Not the perfect dad.
You're a good dad.
I do plenty wrong. Try not to. I have the dad bod now.
Yeah, you got that with the third kid.
I got the dad bod.
I didn't put on any weight with the third kid because I was sick the entire time.
Nope.
He put it on. He's proud of it. Took him 34 years to gain the weight.
I was 32 when she was born.
Oh, 32 years to gain the weight. I'm so sorry.
I think I was 32 when she was born. So humble and nice chatting with you. Oh, good night, futuristic.
Bye.
We will see you later. The plan is to Saturday nights to do these. Probably not every Saturday night, but the stars have to align so that people go to bed early. People go to bed early, and then other people stay up because.
And other people are off work.
Yep.
Or get off work early enough.
Yep. So, plan is Saturday nights are live stream nights, but not every Saturday night. So, yes, we'll have more chats, and hope to see you next time. Good night. She's probably gone by now.
Yeah. We have one viewer. Is it Cody here?
Probably.
I think it's Cody.
I don't know. It's midnight now, our time.
It is.
You wanna call it a night ourselves?
We'll see. Is Cody still in here?
See if we get any more chatteroos. If we get some more chatteroos, of course we're gonna,
We'll chat.
chat for a little bit. Hold on. You gotta. I don't know why you gotta do that.
Oh, cool. I'll definitely.
Pick our brains.
Oh, it says that, but it didn't show. Oh,
no, because you had to approve his, even though that was like not at all.
Pluck.
I
guess it says because it says plus.
I don't know. I even like turned it off like to where
Dumb.
you can say whatever you want to say, but I evidently didn't do it right.
Okay.
But yeah, that's fine, Cody.
Ask away, Cody.
Yeah. Oh, but it says 0 now. He's probably still here though. Unless our internet went out. Which I don't think it did. I don't think it did, but I could be wrong. Hold on. Yes. Hold on. What does it say? Yes, good night. I don't have anything else. But I will have some more questions. We'll definitely ask them. Let me say good night. Okay, have a good night. Okay, so he is also signing off, I guess. But yes, save up your questions. Ask us. We'll do our best to answer. Yeah, we're
okay. Yeah, we're about to leave too.
That's okay.
If
yeah,
you're going, then we're going.
We'll save up your questions. We'll do another live stream. On Saturdays, maybe not next Saturday. But yeah, we'll definitely do Saturday live streams. We're getting better at it, as you can tell by the lighting and things like that. But thank you so much for viewing with us, and we will see you guys next time. We'll go ahead and end it.
Good night.
Good night.